Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Late Night Sauce podcast. I'm here with Noah, my co-host, and we have two very special guests tonight. Legends in Rhode Island for many years, many decades actually. We have Whalebone Jackson here from Providence, Rhode Island, and we also have probably one of the top hip hop artists of the mid 2000s to the late 2000s. No, that doesn't make sense. Mid 2000s
to right now, to today.
Well, he was an actor for a little while.
Yeah, but he's getting back on the horse.
Back on the horse, yeah. We have Storm Davis in the building from Strange Famous Records, and these two guys here, we have 30 years of history with.
Probably longer.
Actually, well, 30 years of history with Whalebone here, and me and Storm Davis are going back about 42 years. 42 years of history with me and Storm Davis. So, Noah, you're going to hear some disturbing stories and fun facts about our drinking days. And
I got like 2 hours of history right now.
Yes, you do. Yes,
I've
you
learned
do.
quite a bit.
Yes, you have. So, Mike's here from Atlanta. Whalebone Jackson was probably the top blues band of Rhode Island from 2007
to 2008.
2008 in like
to
April.
2007 and a half.
7.5. Honestly, listening to you guys play helped me like really appreciate blues. I always liked blues music, but I never got to never sort it out. Because they actually when I was running the Grill on Main in East Greenwich, we had Whalebone Jackson perform a few times, and
we were almost on a bi-monthly rotation.
Yeah, we had a little something going there. It was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough in there. They had a really big support as far as getting the music thing going there. But he did also help develop one of the most successful trivia nights in Rhode Island.
That is true.
That was at the Grill on Main. Tuesdays was the talk of the town at one point.
At our height, we had 33 teams of 4 to 6 people. There were people playing, sitting at the front door waiting for a table.
On the sidewalks. It was crazy back then,
Yes.
And it led, all because of you, it led to me working for every restaurant owned by that group. So my trivia company, took off because of the Grill on Main and Mario. Mario and I were a great team because he would supply these epic prizes that no other place would give out.
Oh, yeah, I did a lot of
He was
lot of
giving
good
out
stuff.
Wheeze when Wheeze were new. He was giving out mountain bikes, $500 blenders, the Margaritaville blenders. Then it
Flat
was
screen TVs.
Then it was
Yeah.
$300.
Then we started doing cash prizes, yeah.
Yep. They were like
That was the biggest nights were the cash nights though, and it was one of those things where if I had better, because social media just started out back then, and I didn't know what I was doing ever. I still don't know what I'm doing. It's 2023, but I didn't have. If I had the real support or the better team, if I had a team now that I have now back then, I think we'd be prestige worldwide of trivia.
Yeah.
I really think we could. I think we could have been.
It was so.
If you don't know trivia, sit down. That's our policy.
I got so busy after a while, I had to hire 2 people to do nights because I was already working on those nights. So we got other bars. It was all word of mouth. There was no real advertising. He's a brilliant promoter.
People have written me off, Noah. You know that?
I
People
know
have
that.
written
Let
me
me
off.
tell you something.
I got ideas.
I have watched them write you off.
One
written
night,
me off, man.
one night I showed up and there was a big banner outside the restaurant. It said,
Pay as you exit.
no. It said, it was like ribs.
Free beer tomorrow.
Ribs on sale. It was like some kind of rib special.
No, we had a barbecue night. We did a
So
barbecue
I
night,
asked him, and I said, so what's the special on the ribs? He's like, I was like, you have ribs now? He's like, no, we always have ribs. I said, but that night everybody got the ribs because of his son.
Exploited it. Just exploit what was already in the building.
Yeah. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. He's really good at promotion and stuff. He used to write me little intros before my game, and he'd throw in little jokes like, 2 for $5 Montreal meat whistles, and all kinds of jokes like that. So we made a very good team as far as entertaining, because he did the bar end stuff and I did the entertainment stuff, and it just worked out.
Yeah, those were good times back then. We had some fun.
Yeah.
Tuesdays back then were the Mondays of the Safe House, like good times. You know what I mean?
All right.
And it's just different times back then. It was old school, no computers. It was handwritten slips. You go and collect them.
I would go to make my trivia different and stand out. I would go to every table and collect the slips rather than have them come to me, because I wanted to be like personable with them and entertain them and get to know them. And I actually still talk to some friends from my old customers back
Major. He was on this team called Besides That Mrs. Candy How Was a Parade. They used to win once a month.
Yeah.
Oh, they had a team. They
yeah.
they knew their stuff, man.
Then they switched to
Besides that, Mrs. Lincoln, How Was a Play? Yeah. They really hated presidents that died.
I guess, yeah.
Which I don't understand, but they got their things.
well, you know,
I mean,
Everyone has.
they never did anything about McKinley though.
McKinley.
He was assassinated too.
And was
Bob.
also a president.
Bob?
Bob McKinley?
Bob?
No,
What?
No.
he was one of the presidents of the
Yeah.
United States.
No, that's real life.
I'm messing with you.
Alright.
Perhaps.
Alright.
Messing with you. So we have Storm Davis here with us, one of the top vocalists of Rhode Island, maybe even Northeast. I'm gonna go. I don't want to go whole United States because I haven't heard the whole United States. So
I'm confident.
you know what? I know you are.
He's in the
It's a
top 10
possibility.
of the whole
Yeah.
United States at least.
So you're part of Poorly Drawn People. You guys won what? Best Hip Hop Artist 2 years in a row, and then you won solo 1 year in 07.
We won in the late great Providence Phoenix Best Music poll. We won Best Hip Hop Act 4 years in a row. And I won the Best Album, all genres that have ever existed in the history of mankind and other parts of the galaxy. Best Album.
Handstand Poetry for the Recovering Alcoholic.
Yep, in 2007.
That's a great album.
That was a great album. Great album.
You can pick it up at your local Kangaroos, Middle Spring Avenue.
Yeah, the Kangaroo's not still there, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
It is still
It's still there. I
Yeah,
drive by there all the time and I don't even look in that
Yeah,
direction.
and they're still there. They're still pumping it out, so to speak. I pick up a cassette from time to time.
Yeah.
There.
For Noah's a little younger than us. A cassette used to be what we
I know what
listen
a
to music.
cassette is.
Okay, I didn't know if you knew.
I know what a
Didn't
cassette
know if you knew. Didn't know if you
God
knew.
His French is cassette.
So, Mike, I'm gonna throw this out at you. Don't even think about it. Just answer the questions, right? You're gonna fuck one, marry one, kill one. Go. Barbara Walters, your wife, Oprah Winfrey.
Well, just to say that I could, I'd probably fuck Barbara Walters.
That's racist.
I'd marry my wife. Yeah.
Go for it. Let's.
I'd kill Oprah Winfrey.
I knew you would.
Now it's gonna get bad. Nobody
We have
wants
to start over.
I think he's calling the police.
We have a possible suspect in the Oprah Winfrey murder.
Did you know that my sister has a restraining order, I believe still active, from Oprah Winfrey's people?
Against her.
Yes.
Oh, no. Oprah Winfrey people going to her
Oprah Winfrey has a restraining order against my sister.
against your sister.
Yes.
Why?
I'm afraid to ask why.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. All I know is my mother took me aside one day and whispered it to me.
Don't let your sister near Oprah Winfrey. At all costs, keep her away from Oprah Winfrey.
My next question is, how does your sister get into acting with Oprah Winfrey? How did they meet?
I, honest to God, have no idea how any of this went down. It was literally my mother pulled me aside and she's like, you know that your sister received paperwork in the mail from Oprah Winfrey's legal team.
People.
Yeah. I was like, I was unaware. Tell me
Because she
more.
was writing, I'll fucking kill you.
I think there may have been some ask that she may have been persistent in asking her for something and they didn't take kindly to it.
Wow.
That's
Well, that's strange of Oprah because she's known for giving things away.
That's
maybe Oprah
Yeah.
doesn't know about it. Maybe it was her legal team that just blocking.
Yeah, I
Aaron.
highly doubt
Maybe you
Oprah
should-
saw anything from your sister.
No, you should really go like
I would investigate
up the
this.
chain to get to Oprah to kind of get this lifted at this
I
point.
got a guy in Chicago, man. I'm telling you, we can get in.
I don't know if we
To do
need
what?
to do that.
Just ask, like, hey, what's the story?
Hey, we're here.
Who are you people? What's going on with Storm's sister?
So there you have it.
Wow. Well,
Well, that was kind of
so basically, you're saying if Mike kills Oprah Winfrey, your sister would be happy.
I know. No.
I'm not going to kill Oprah Winfrey. Let's just get this straight. I'm not killing Oprah
Thank you, because
Winfrey.
I like Oprah.
He asked me a stupid damn question, and I answered the question, and now I'm a murderer.
That's how
That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Usually-
That's for the podcast, buddy.
Listen to any true crime podcast. That's the series of events that leads
Yes.
to the kill.
They
Let me ask you a question. Marry, fucking kill.
We just planned to see it.
I
That's
do
what it
like
was.
the ferocity with which you approached him with the question.
That was-
I tried to do the best I could in my imitation of John C. Reilly and Step Brothers.
And you dropping the F-bomb, I wasn't prepared for that because you told me this was a family podcast. But now
is
that
not
I know,
No, it's not.
I can
we
say
can't
fuck.
drop. We can't drop a lot of f bombs, but no, we
is
don't.
there a limit?
I mean, I
we
dropped
try to
like
keep it
a
under 10.
solid handful.
Oh, I was going to say, is 12 okay? If I say it 12 times.
You alone say it 12 times might be a little tough. Yeah, if you spread it out over the 45 minutes, maybe like one every 9 minutes.
I mean, I say fuck pretty often. I'm not gonna
Start the
lie.
timer.
It's on.
We're trying to
It's
keep
on.
it.
It's
Trying to.
12.
It's just keep. We'll just keep it as clean as we can. That's all. If one slips out, one slips out. It
It's a
happens. It
podcast
happens.
of passion, buddy.
It happens. A podcast of passion.
Nice. I like that.
That's spot on. I think.
Thank
That's
you,
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I try.
Also, Michael, I understand that you're, besides Whalebone Jackson being a blues band, I've witnessed a karaoke battle or two of you at the Tavern 12 on Post Road. And I believe Storm Davis was involved in that same exact battle as well as Snail. I was terrible that night. I sang.
No, you sang
I
Fat Bottom
sang-
Girls. It was awesome.
No. That was at Jefferson.
night?
That was Jefferson Speakeasy. I sang 2 lines of Fat Bottom Girls, and I screwed up because I was drunk. And I handed the microphone to Snail. He didn't know the song, so the karaoke guy was like, he can't sing no more. Just get him out of here. And I left. No,
I
it
don't
was at
remember
Tavern
it.
12. You sang Georgia on My Mind.
Okay, that's my signature song.
Yeah, this guy
That's
was.
your signature
It was.
song?
He was battling against this
So
guy.
let's start with this good warm
I don't know this fellow's name, but he was very scary because he wore like eye makeup.
I remember
The leather
that.
jacket guy.
who did Danzig or Dio
Yeah,
or
I
something?
kicked his ass.
AC/DC.
ACDC.
He was friends with the guy Tom that did trivia night. That was friends with my wife Melissa.
Oh, Tom. Yeah.
He died, by the
He's
way.
I know.
Yeah,
I
he died.
heard.
Poor guy.
Passed away.
Yeah,
He had
died,
kidney
yeah.
trouble.
Yeah, he had health issues.
Oh, I think I remember that guy. Was he the one that had was it Indiana?
No.
Yes. He married a chick from Indiana.
Yes.
Yeah.
That he met online.
Yes.
I remember when he met her.
But yeah, so it was his buddy because he was saying I think he was the best man at his wedding because I was at the wedding, and he had like the full trench coat on with the eye makeup, and that guy's he was in the military too, so you know that guy was crazy, and he was killing it with AC/DC. You're going out with Georgia on My Mind. Snail singing.
The Good Ship Lollipop.
No, he was singing. I made Snail sing "Bush Come Down" because that's my go-to at Snail. I don't know what you sang, but you killed it too.
It was probably either Ugly Kid Joe, Everything About
It was
You.
Ugly Kid Joe, yes. Because I said, how come I never remember this song? Like, never asked you to sing the song before because I love that song.
Oh, he used to sing that all the That was
Yeah,
like his
do that.
signature.
I used to
I never hung out with you guys at karaoke. These guys are elite karaoke singers.
David Lee Roth's version of Just a Gigolo. I used to do that a lot. And Semi-Charmed Life by Third
I
Eye Blind.
remember Semi-Charmed Life. I do remember that at the happy hour. We used to sing that all the time on Manton Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good time.
Oh, the good old days.
Good days there. Good days. So, I'm going to ask you gentlemen a few questions about your the old days in the bar scene that feel free to reject the question and
Okay.
claim, what's
Here
I
we go.
plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. Anyway,
What?
the
What?
Fifth Amendment.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but it's the way you said it.
Oh, it's from the Chappelle. It's from the Chappelle show. He's like, I plead the fifth. No. Anyway, so how many women would you?
Oh, Christ.
What the fuck?
Who is this directed towards?
You.
Me or Storm? All right.
I'm going to both of you on this.
You know my wife will listen to this, right?
Well, you met your wife at a bar.
Because
you
you'll
not.
force her to.
I did. I met her at
Exactly.
the Brass Lounge.
How many women have you met at a bar that you've had relationships with? Relationships, not relations. Relationships.
Oh, that's an interesting question. I've
yeah.
never thought about that.
Well, that's why this is the podcast called Late Night Sauce. We're getting saucy with Whalebone Jackson right now.
Scintillating hot button question.
Maybe 2. Really, not that
A
many.
real full-blown
I mean,
relationship, too?
relations is a higher number.
I'm
but
talking relationships.
I really don't. I think my wife is the really only serious one I ever had that went on longer than a couple of months.
I hope so. You married her.
Yeah, well, yeah, we've been together almost 20 years now.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna go with 2.
Yeah, maybe 3. I'm like.
Would you say you've met more women that you've had relationships with at a church or bookstores or farmers
Black
markets?
Awareness rally, perhaps.
None of those places.
How many relationships? How many serious relationships have you had in your life?
Ooh,
Thousands.
I had a
Ballpark it,
couple. I had a
ballpark.
couple in college.
That's 2.
Then a couple after college that I met through friends.
That's
of
4.
A couple. Why do you need to know that? Like,
It's the question.
I'm.
leading-
You know
it's
what?
leading up-
It is 3 because then when I moved back from Massachusetts to Newport, I met a girl in a bar. Then I met a girl through a friend at work, and a couple from parties. But none of those were as long as, obviously my relationship now.
Okay, so we'll get 6
I've had more than 6 relationships.
from
I
people.
had, but
From girls you
girls
met in
high
bars.
school. No, in bars 3 to 4.
3 to 4 in bars.
Yeah.
This podcast is about bars.
Yeah, we started at
Restaurants.
2, so if it's 3 to 4, it's probably.
But you
closer to
asked me
5 to
beyond
6.
that. You asked me about churches and farmers markets. So I mean, I'm trying to answer you completely.
Say
Not
farmers
that.
markets.
Yeah, he did say farmers
did?
markets.
What is your
Alright,
favorite
alright.
farmers market to go pick up women at?
I
The guests want to know. The listeners want to know.
know of no farmers
What
markets.
would your opening line be at a farmer's market? You're hanging out by the juice stand,
Great question.
sipping on some beetroot.
Check out the nice melons there.
I like the
You
lemongrass water.
You gaze across the alpacas, and you see
They have alpacas at farmers markets?
Sometimes.
the best ones.
Yeah, the
Really?
good ones usually do, yeah.
I've been going to the wrong farmers
You
markets.
have.
You gaze across the alpacas. You see a vision in
Trying to hypnotize
overalls.
me.
A vision in
We're putting you in the
overalls. She's
scene.
got a straw hat,
Close
maybe a
your
piece of
eyes.
straw in her mouth, suggesting future mouth things.
Okay.
You approach. The grass is crunching beneath your Timberlands,
We're getting real
and you say,
specific now.
"I'm painting a picture."
I know it's a beautiful picture. I'm mesmerized.
What color hair does she have?
Blonde.
Yeah.
On what part of her body, though? Are you asking?
Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
man,
Uh,
that's awful. So what do you say to her?
I don't have a line right now. I've never been to a farmer's market.
Oh,
What was your best pickup line at a bar to meet the girls you had relationships with? What was your best pickup line or your move to get that girl to want to have the relationship with you? Besides your
Have a relationship with me.
you force
Hey!
it in. You force it in.
I'm dying. It's my last night on earth.
Is that what you used?
you want to go to the movies with me?
I'm dying. Can I take y'all next week?
I never really had pickup lines. Things just organically happen. Like, he's gone. So
going. It's fine.
I can tell you the story about how I met my wife.
I'll tell that. You tell it, and then I'll tell it.
What are you going to tell about it?
My perspective on
You
it.
weren't there that night.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't. It was me and Steve Sparvin.
I wasn't at the bar, but I was at home when you got home and told me about the
Ah, yes.
Go ahead.
Go on.
All right. So
The people want to know.
He was looking for love in the right place.
I had met a friend of mine. There was a guy who used to play at the bar we worked at. His name was Steve Anthony.
Okay.
And one night he asked me to join his band to sing. So I went down there with a friend of ours, his name's Steve, and I'm outside on the phone, and I see out of the corner of my eye a girl coming towards me, so I just randomly hold the door open for her. And
Ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, but I wasn't paying attention. I was on the phone. It was like a just out of the the side of my
Yeah.
eye, and evidently she noticed me, which is what she told me after. So and this I was much skinnier then. I wasn't
You're still handsome, buddy.
Thank you. I know, but
think
I'm
you're
just
But the listeners don't know.
so anyway.
There's no video.
There's no video. The listeners
That's
don't
all right.
know.
I'm a handsome fella. Everybody
you
who knows me knows that. Anyway, So, the night goes on. She happens to be there because she's a fan of this guy, Steve Smith. I mean,
Steve Anthony.
Steve Anthony. So
Great performer.
At one night, yeah, he's awesome. By the way, if you ever get a chance to go see Steve Anthony in Persuasion, get out there and see it.
Make sure you send him the podcast.
Yeah, I'll do my best
Steve
because
Anthony
he's part of the reason I'm with my wife. So anyway, we didn't really. I didn't really see her all that much. She was dancing, and she was up on the speaker dancing with some other girls, and she was with another girl that actually my friend and I were trying to hit on.
Simultaneously?
What's that?
Simultaneously?
Well, we were
Porn
trying to
shits.
compare to see who would get with this girl. But once I saw my now wife dancing on the speaker, I was like, you can have her. I want to go after this girl.
Sure, that worked out great.
So she gets down. I sing with Steve, which, you know what? Come to think of it, that's probably my biggest pickup line is
Singing.
when I open my. You don't know this, but I'm a very good singer.
Okay.
Like I'm not trying to be.
He's underselling himself. He's not
No, he's an
good. He's
excellent
amazing.
Thank you very much. But
Amazing.
anyway, I went to school for it.
Terrible at everything.
In Whalebone Jackson,
I'm the
you
singer.
said
I'm
you
the
sung.
front.
All right.
So, she comes down, we end up talking. We're talking all night long. And around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, we have to leave the bar. So I walk her out to her car, and we're just talking. I'm leaning against my car. She's leaning against hers.
Did you
And
park next to each other?
I think so.
God
Yeah.
damn.
So I'm looking over this
Fate.
way.
It's fate.
I'm
Kismet,
looking over
nope.
to my left, and I turn my head back to her, and she's like on my face, making out with me. And
Alien move.
yeah. So we made out for a little while. Then we exchanged numbers, and then she left. And I found out she worked at a certain place here in Rhode Island. So, and I knew a friend of mine, the Snail's sister, also worked at this place. So I called her and I said, "Do you know so and so?" And she's like, "Yeah, she's engaged." So I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh."
Not anymore, she ain't.
So that was the day before Valentine's Day. So on Valentine's Day, I called her and I was like, I just found out you were engaged. She's like, "Well, I had my ring on the whole time." I was like, "Oh, I didn't even notice."
Oh, look.
I said, "But it's okay. We can be friends." She's like, "Yeah, that's fine." And come to find out, not only was she engaged, but she was engaged to a guy who was away in Afghanistan. He was like a war hero, for God's sake. So I felt like
man.
I felt like shit, right?
God.
So I said, "Let's just be friends." But then 2 days later, she calls me. She wants to meet for coffee, and she starts making out with me again.
Yeah, that's not coffee.
And
at all.
coffee?
The coffee means
We
sex.
went
It
for coffee.
does.
We went
There's
for
no such
coffee.
thing as coffee, Noah. It's just sex. Okay.
I got it.
No, we didn't have sex for a couple of
I
weeks.
don't even like coffee.
But anyway, we didn't have sex until she broke up with her man.
Respectable.
But she left him for me, and we've been together ever since.
That's a good story.
Yeah,
Except
and
for that
as
guy.
a-
Except for that guy, that was involved.
As a matter of fact, 3 weeks into our relationship, I was hosting an open mic comedy night at this place called the Brass Lounge, which is where I met her in the first place. So my mother and father came to watch this comedy show, and they're sitting over here, and she's at the bar over here, and I went up to my mother and I said, "You see that girl over there? I'm going to marry her." And I ended up marrying her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yep. I just knew.
So,
Good for you.
listeners out there, love can be found in a bar.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's different now, but it's there.
I
were you
wouldn't
gonna say?
suggest it, though. Like,
I mean, my life is hell.
no.
I met my wife at the bar. I mean, do I look happy?
A bar isn't
No.
the like the best place to meet someone. It can happen, but I think
Probably be the farmer's market, if anything.
yeah, the
Farmer's
farmers market.
market.
Farmer's market for sure.
I like bookstores because at
Bookstores
least
are
another
nice.
girl can read.
Yeah.
You know?
Black awareness rally.
Yeah, Black Awareness Rally. Sexual chocolate.
You want someone who's active,
Sexual chocolate.
active in the community.
I believe the children are the future.
So unfortunately, I cannot ask the same question to Storm Davis here because there were
Where has he gone that he's not met a woman?
exactly. I mean, the man is he's just a legend, clearly.
Let me paint a picture for you. Storm.
Oh man.
Oh.
Here we go.
I think we're losing control of the podcast here, Noah.
It's
This
fine.
could be the Whalebone Jackson Storm
woman.
Davis show here.
What happened?
Greasy-haired woman across the room, nameplate necklace. She looks at you with those lustful eyes like you're a chicken wing.
I have a funny feeling this has
You're up in
happened.
the closet.
I've had a funny feeling this has happened.
I mean, there's been perhaps variation.
He's written songs about it.
I would say that during my life, you could categorize me as a lovemaking enthusiast,
Yes.
and so certain days have been better than others.
Those who aren't familiar with Storm Davis's musical works, a lot of his songs are about lovemaking. Why is that funny? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. You know,
You're not wrong.
He's not rapping about Vikings and homosexual like Eminem was doing. He's rapping about making love.
Which,
What?
what? I mean,
Remember the Eminem intro with I am the way I am. He's like, Dre's rapping about big screen TVs, women, and cars. You're rapping about homosexuals and Vikings. I can't sell this shit.
I think
Yeah, the interlude.
yeah,
Yeah,
should
now,
go.
okay,
yeah,
I
that's
do
why I
remember
was kind of
that.
there's a play on that. I mean, clearly I thought you guys knew Eminem. My bad.
Damn.
I know Mo.
I haven't
doesn't.
kept up with
I don't know what
his
it's over.
over.
It was a long time ago.
You know, I have to say something about your first album. Mm-hmm. And you should go pick up Keg Stand Poetry for the Recovering Alcoholic because it's so
platinum.
much
It's
more
platinum.
than a rap album because you use those snippets of multimedia throughout. Mm-hmm. And you had movie quotes and you had other kinds of quotes, and it wasn't you had stand-up comedy with that guy.
That was Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, it was so much more than just a rap. It's an experience, and I think people should go out and pick it up.
I'll probably put it in the same category of classic albums as
Dark Side
I
of
don't
the
know,
Moon.
Abbey Road, Beatles.
Probably not.
But both are streaming on Spotify.
No, I can't speak for you, but what I feel is I think we have a little haterade coming out of Mike over here.
I
we drink some haterade?
What?
Are you trying to tell me Abbey Road is a better album than Keg Stand Poetry?
Yes.
You are out of your mind. Out of your mind.
I mean,
No offense, John Lennon and the Beatles, because I do enjoy music,
I
but
feel like they'd be offended.
yeah.
Who?
John Lennon and the Beatles.
I feel like it's apples and oranges. You can't really compare.
But my
Keg
question to you is:
Stand-
are apples and oranges both fruits?
Yeah.
I mean, would it be more like apples and like broccoli per se?
Both
No,
fruits.
I think they're both music, so there is some similarity.
It's food. That's
Let's
the
just
similarity.
let's put on the record that Whalebone Jackson here has a strong.
He's a vicious hater.
No, I'm not saying that. I think he just has a strong passion for the Beatles. And I'm just egging him
It's
on.
not about
I am
that.
egging him on. I'm not comparing Abbey Road to Keg Stand Poetry. I really am, though, man. I'm keeping you're like right here.
Thank
You guys can't see my hands are this close.
I
Anyway,
both appreciate
You
and
still
hear
can't
how
see
close
it.
still can't see, but this close.
both appreciate it and agree.
I'd say there's about 3/4 of an inch between one hand and the other. If you really need to know what his hands look like.
So, Webb, I'm gonna switch gears. That's what we do here on the podcast.
Clearly.
What is one of the craziest experiences you've had when you've picked up a random at a bar and went back to a place that was basically what you thought was going to happen didn't happen? In other words, you're like, hey, this girl, I'm going to go home. We're going to make sweet love.
Can I touch your boobs?
But it didn't happen. But something else happened that freaked you out.
That's very
Like
specific.
what else? What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, obviously, like, you know.
Like I went with the intent of having sex and something happened that freaked me out instead?
Yes, and no sex was involved. But you gotta leave the scene. Never call her again.
I don't think it didn't necessarily freak me out, but I picked up a girl once at a bar.
Leave the names out, please.
I don't know her name. I don't
That's
know.
awesome.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you. You have a bad memory? That's awesome. No. So we go back to her place, and like literally when we were at the bar, she told me to stop and pick up condoms, and we were gonna,
Okay.
They were
it
there
was
for her husband?
Definitely, we were going to have sex. But what ended up happening was she just took her top off and we listened to like vinyl records until
Okay.
like 4 a.m.
Okay. What
And
kind
then
of
I was like-
what kind of music was she playing?
I think she was playing some Jethro Tull because I had mentioned it at the bar that I liked
Okay.
Jethro Tull. And
So what happened to the condoms?
Did you put the,
I left them in, but they were in my pocket and never got used.
you didn't put
You
them
took
on?
them with you though.
Oh yeah,
You
we-
bought them though, right?
Yes.
All
she
right,
told
don't
me-
leave them there.
She said, "Go to that gas station and buy a box of condoms."
Right, but you took them with you. No, you didn't leave them there for somebody else.
No.
Good. Yeah, 'cause I've done that. I've done it. I mean, I'm not proud. She didn't tell me to buy the condom. I showed up with the condoms. And then the sex didn't happen, so I left the condoms there because...
When you showed up with them and she opened the door, were you holding them?
And a little gleam
No.
on its tooth. Like, ding.
No, it wasn't like that.
Like
But,
it was Dentine gum.
it was, no,
commercial.
it was a different situation where, like, there was children involved because you had kids.
Dude, where is this going?
That came out wrong. She was a mother of 2, and they were in the other room, and it wasn't. I didn't know the kids were gonna be there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I'm not comfortable with this.
So, yeah. So
'Cause I'm not.
That's what happened. So
Yeah.
after a while, I'm like, it's still possible we're going to have sex, but I don't feel like waiting any longer. So I just took off.
What was the time frame you used to keep?
What do you mean?
In other words, like
Well, the bar got out around 1:30,
Yeah.
so by 4 o'clock we're still listening to music.
yeah,
And I'm like,
if it
are
happened,
you-
if it ain't
and
happening
then
by
I'm
3
like-
o'clock, it ain't happening.
But then I was like, is she waiting for me to make a move, or
I
is
mean,
she going to
she
make a
told
move?
you to stop and buy condoms, and then you showed up at the house and you didn't do anything with the condoms.
Yeah, but at that point, I was, you know how it is, and you get in your head sometimes, and you're like, if I make a move, is she gonna get upset? Is she because she wants to listen to albums? She wasn't sitting next to me, cuddling with me. She was like topless, but across the room, sitting on the floor, and I was just hanging out on the couch. So I'm like, do I get down on the floor with her? Do I ask her to come up on the couch? And then I'm like, well, maybe I should just wait for her to make a move, which to me would be more sensible, because then, you know how people can get sometimes like, oh, he made a move on me, and like all I wanted to do was listen to music.
Topless.
Yeah, so I'm like,
So basically, would you consider something like that? The kids nowadays, which I didn't know, this whole term, have you heard this, Storm? It's
boy.
called Netflix and chill, means sex.
yeah, I know, I've heard that term. That's
I
actually an
didn't
old
know.
term now.
It's
that's
old now,
very
yeah.
old,
But when
yeah.
I first heard it, it was new to me. So I didn't know.
When was that?
Maybe before COVID.
But doesn't that leave that phrase, Netflix and chill,
It's
doesn't that leave room for interpretation?
Thank you,
Where
that's-
you're
that's
like,
what I'm
what if
talking
she really
about?
wants to watch a movie and chill
Exactly.
and not bang?
Exactly.
You know?
But when we were younger, we would just say, "Hey, do you want to come over and watch a movie?"
Wasn't your pickup line that you used to use in high school? It was like, hey, why don't we,
You want to sit on my face and
no,
tell me
it
that
was
you
like,
love
why,
me?
why don't we get a pizza and fuck? And she get all mad. He's like, what, you don't like pizza?
I did try that one out a few times.
I'm
think
sure
it
that
works.
was a success.
Absolutely. I had no tolerance for people who hated a good pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we used to say, "You want to come over and watch a movie?"
Yeah, after the bar closed. Yeah, that's what we do.
Sometimes even
Before.
Watch a movie after the bar.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
There's
But
just-
you don't think out of all the girls you said that to, hey, you want to come over and watch a movie, that some of them at least thought, well, we're just going to go watch a movie.
yeah, and sometimes we did. But
how do you? I don't know.
The beauty of this
I
whole
don't know what I'm
conversation, though, is the youth out there now, the people out in the bars, they don't have to put the effort that we used to put in, because now everything is
Just
automatic. Everything's like
swipe,
from
yeah.
swipe left. I want you to lick my left testicle. Swipe right. That's what they do. There's apps. If we had apps with that age, we'd be dead.
Testicular.
We would be dead.
Oh yeah,
Oh, we'd be dead. There's no way in the world back. And when we were 22 and that app was around, oh, we would be dead.
We'd all died of AIDS by now.
Something. Something, yeah. Nowadays, there's like... I don't
Things were
see the
much
interact-
harder. It was much harder. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Oh, young blood.
Oh, he's young blood.
Things were much harder when we were younger to do stuff like that, because I didn't even have a flip phone till I was 25. You know, they just didn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have an email address till my senior year of college. So we had to be out on the streets,
We're on
in
the
the
front
bars,
lines.
in the places, at the parties where the girls were, to pick up a girl.
But you know what? When you scored though, it felt good. You worked for it.
Still does.
I think it, yeah.
I think it does.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But we also experienced it in that pocket between the freewheeling 60s and 70s love.
Right.
And now where everyone's much more on Front Street about things like, oh, I have an app that when I swipe right, that means I want to
get
have
laid.
sex with
Yeah.
you. And it's a open and acceptable thing. Whereas we were in that mid time, thanks Reagan,
Right.
where everything was
Things were getting uptight again.
yeah, exactly.
Things were coming out of
It
the
was
60s.
like, oh, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, why? There was this pressure for people to put on this front, like, oh, that's not.
Would you rather
something
be
we
cool in the 80s, like in their 20s, in the 80s, be cool, or be cool in 2023 in your 20s?
I think where we
It was
grew
easier,
up,
I think it was
and-
easier in the 80s,
I think where we grew up and when we were cool was the right time for us.
in the 90s.
In the 90s, yeah. Because we lived through the 80s. We were born in the 70s. We lived through the 80s as kids. And we peaked at the right time, I think. Like, you know those people in high school that peak too early? They're so popular, and now they look like tubs of lard. Like, and they're losers.
We were
working
tubs
at
of lard the whole time, and
McDonald's.
we were cool. That's what
Yeah,
we were.
we could be tubs of lard and cool at the same time.
Exactly. Now, you think we can just do that? No.
And people
Some
used
kind
to,
of
like
person.
anybody that ever said anything to me about my weight in high school, I'd be like, yeah, I'm big now, and I'll always be big. But someday you're going to be big, and it's going to be worse because you're skinny now.
You should put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll put it in a greeting card.
A bumper sticker or something. A magnet.
You know what I
Probably a
mean? Like,
bathrobe. There's a
you
lot
know
of
what
words.
it's like to peak too early. Like, you're
No one
in your,
knows.
I'm still
you're
waiting-
in your
I'm still
50s
waiting
and
to
you're
peak.
working at the McDonald's drive-thru, and
I'm still waiting to peak, buddy.
I'm in my prime.
You are
yeah.
in your prime. I'm still waiting to peak.
yes, you are my Huckleberry. So anyway, that's all I'm saying. And I don't know what I was gonna say.
I feel like you had something.
I
You're
did, and
holding back.
I lost
You're holding
it.
back.
No,
You're
I
scared.
lost it. I lost it.
Don't be
I'm not
scared. This is
I'm
a
not
safety net. We're a trust
The
tree here.
microphone's in front of you. And you
I
got
just
this.
think we worked harder than people have to work now, I think, to get laid. And back then, there was a progression to things.
Yes.
You didn't just bang on the first time you met.
No.
Like you do with Tinder. It was making out. And then, oh, I got to second base. I felt her up.
Then you're
And
gonna meet the parents.
Right.
And they're gonna improve.
And then,
it.
and then,
Yeah.
you do feeling up for a while. And then it moves on to something a little more. And then finally, you have sex with this person. And then you break up. Well, because every
The
relationship
thing about the
breaks up.
80s and 90s was everything was just a colossal waste of time. I give it to the modern technology. They've certainly cut all that shit out. You just cut right to the
But
chase.
sometimes it's fun. It was fun doing that.
No.
That progression
I
was
feel,
fun.
I feel like the cutting to the chase on that though is hurting a lot of people's like brain cells, and not being able to be like socially like active. Like in other words, they can't speak. They can't
They're not forced to go through that like this period where it's
Getting
like,
to
well,
know someone.
Yeah, well, might be onto
which
something.
is fine. I mean, I get it, but then I feel like people just get tired of each other quicker. You know? What I mean?
Because there's no excitement. There's no anticipation of what's next because you do everything on the first
Like
day.
when I was coming up as a bartender, right? When I started bartending in '98, like in a regular bar. Like I mean, I was at my old place back in there. When I started bartending in '98, I had it was a heyday of the Grill on Main, and we had beautiful women, nice guys. Everybody was cool.
Palm
And
trees.
you have girls in the corner, be like 5 of them. You have 4 guys on the other side.
Flamingos.
Get those girls around the drinks. You buy shots. You start talking to each other. You built up a rapport. I don't even see guys buying girls drinks anymore.
Yeah, because
That affects.
That's not a thing anymore. Do people not like
No.
send each other drinks?
Not
or
really, no. I don't
I mean, we had a couple of
I mean, idiots usually.
maybe 10%. 10%.
idiots.
Yeah, not too many people who do it, and the people who do it.
Not in like a
kinda
cool
idiots.
way. Like
People that do, get us a shot. Get us a shot. Thinking like the shot's gonna get her over the edge, and they're gonna get the knob shine. You know what I mean? Which doesn't work 90% of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not
So
even
like,
slick
there's no
about it.
like mysterious guy that says, "Oh,
Mysterious.
put her next drink on my tab." kind of thing.
A lot of times that does happen here and there, and the girl doesn't even say thank you to the guy.
Really?
Yeah, they don't do
It-
it.
that's
there's
douchey.
They get drinks.
This is
dude.
what,
They don't
but
give
the
a fuck.
thing
Like
is,
it's like they feel like they deserve it or something.
yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
I don't even think that's it. I just think that I hate to make it like
Well, because she's too busy fucking Instagramming the drink she just got
Maybe
to say thank you.
it's not even that. I mean, and I've seen guys.
she could make time.
Like,
I've
people live through
I've
a
also
lens.
seen guys talk girls' ears off for 2 hours sitting next to them, and not even buy the girl a drink too. It goes both ways, and it's just like, and that's part of the bar business. In other words, like, in the old days, they see us bartenders as helping. Like I still try to help guests. I got customers come up to me, I'll get those girls a couple drinks on me. I'm like, no, they're married. Don't mess with them. Save your money.
No, see, I think that's what you wanted this podcast tonight to be about, like how things have changed from the old bar scene to now.
Absolutely.
But
That's why I brought you OGs in.
you're the expert on this.
I am the
You
expert.
see things that we'll never see that have changed.
Because
So-
you're not here for it. This is our job.
We're no longer on the
yeah,
front lines.
You're not on the front lines, you know. But
But what I'm saying is, what you have to say to me is interesting.
you also were in different circles of people back then as well.
Yeah,
Like,
ours
when
was
we were
more
co-
music.
It was more about appreciation of good people.
Right.
Where I was involved because I'm in the public. I'm a bartender. I was involved with people that were not saying super. You had some superficial people. You had some good people. You had some shy people. I was in a big group, and I would see it all.
Yeah.
And I had to help guys meet girls. I had to help girls meet guys. And now they don't need me anymore because you have the
Yes.
technology. But also, I've never seen more uptight, cranky women or angry women in my life than I have in the last 5-6 years.
Really?
Oh yeah, and these girls, and they're tougher than ever. I'm more scared of the women out there now than I am of guys because they are not afraid to punch a guy in the face,
Oh, shit.
crack a bottle over the head, tell them I'll go kill your mother, your sister, everybody in your family.
You've seen that in the bar scene.
Let's just say that's always
I've
been the
seen,
case.
I know,
far as I've seen.
I've heard girls talk the game, and here I've seen girls play the game.
Really?
I've seen girls punch guys in the face. Noah, the girls that come in the sad face, the trap, they are not to be messed with. They are some strong, tough women.
I mean,
They're
to
not
be
afraid to
fair,
fight men.
That was happening to me 20 years ago, 25 years ago. You remember a certain young blonde lady that was a year behind us in high school at
Oh yeah, I remember. Yes,
that is what fractured our lifelong friendship.
I understand that, but you know what? I got a bar.
To be clear,
70 of them.
she came flying at me and treated my head like a punching bag.
Oh, I remember her.
Mm-hmm.
She's a good kid too in the beginning.
Yeah.
Lovely.
They always try to hurt my friend. Not good anymore.
I haven't even thought about her in years.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
think
you
about
know,
her all
Ever?
the time. No,
You
all
do?
the time, yeah.
I'm just
Because you had a
saying.
great friendship.
It's just too bad, but that's the thing, it's. I'm not saying I have a void in my life that I'm not helping people anymore, because trust me, I've helped enough people over the years. It breaks my soul to see what this world has become as far as people socializing with one another and like just the world of hate out there. Like there's girls that are walking in, guys that are walking in, just walking in with hate before the night even starts. We never had that. We never had that. And if we were haters, there was like one. If we had 20 of us hanging out, there was like 2, maybe 3 haters out of 20 in the circle.
Right.
Now, 10 of them walk in, all 10 are haters.
Wow.
It's
What do you
crazy.
think is like creates this
I
bad
think
feeling?
it's. I really think it's a publication of haterism.
You know what? What?
A publication of haterism.
You know what?
You're
I
not-
mean, in my
The
opinion,
circulation of
It's
that
not about-
magazine is
I think that people
is enormous.
people don't know how to interact anymore. They don't know how to deal with other people's personalities because all they see is on a screen. They don't see in 3 dimensions like we did when we were younger. They didn't see, oh, this guy's a prick, but you know what? This is good about him. This is good about him. All they see is prick, 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 all the way down their apps and their
I
social
actually think
media.
a lot of people think that being miserable is the new normal, and that's scary.
It doesn't have to be though.
It doesn't have to be 100%
I mean,
right.
was there some value to the fact that back in the day, people who were genuinely miserable would put on a false front to be, to seem a little happier, so that in the attempt to go out and
It was different
form
though.
of
It was
possible.
different though. It was different though. I think
a fake it till you make it.
See,
type
we
Yeah.
all of us had our had our moments of misery, but we translated all that into art and music and all that jazz.
We also try to help our friends when they were miserable. Instead of
Right,
saying, hey,
we
yo,
had a
if you're miserable, I'm going to be
crew
miserable
of-
with you, and I'm going to make everybody miserable around us. No, we were like, hey, he's not doing good. Let's help
We
him out.
had a crew of strong people that were there for each other.
But everybody had crews like that.
But everybody's an island now because of social media and stuff.
To
Nobody
be
has
fair,
a
I did
crew
have
like
streaks of psychotic violence from time to time.
that. Yeah, but we were always there for you to come
didn't? Good
home,
point, good point.
to
Who didn't?
wrangle you in and
That is true. Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
That is true. Like literally, like sometimes I would physically pull you from flying out of a moving car.
Two times that happened.
I remember that. That's when he
Yeah.
kicked down his mother's planter in the
Yeah,
driveway.
I do.
You yelled at some girl walking down the street. You don't have to sell your body.
No,
to the
except
night."
it wasn't a girl.
No, it wasn't a girl. It was a drug dealer,
It was
and he
in
was
a large
selling,
yellow
He was a
parka.
large
Yeah.
man, and
You don't have to sell your
I
body.
thought he was a prostitute on Manhattan Avenue, and he was a drug dealer on Manhattan Avenue, and that's
We
what
all
gotta
I
make a
told him to
living.
sell his body.
I was right behind you in the car because
That was it. But you know what though?
sell
How many
your
times
body.
how many times that happened?
what? Where you got so drunk we needed to help you?
Like that.
That we were with you.
Like that, yeah.
a few times.
A few times.
Yeah.
There's people doing it on a weekly basis, year round. And I'm trying to teach the young guys that you're going to be associated with people like that if you don't stop hanging out with them.
Right.
Eventually, you have to stop hanging out with people that are negative. You can be their friend, I get it, but if they don't want the help that they need, what's the point? You know? And that's what bartenders do. We judge. Noah, do we judge the customer by who they hang out with?
Oh yeah.
Because we got great people that hang out with each other that are all great, and we love them.
But people,
You got people
are
that are-
selfish these days.
It's so bad.
Like I've always known, since I've known you guys, that if I needed him, he'd be there in a minute's notice. If I needed your shirt because I didn't have one, you would take it off and give it to me. No questions asked.
Questions asked.
People aren't like that anymore. They're too selfish.
How do we
They're
change
always
it? How do we
worried-
change it?
We don't. We don't. We try to teach our own kids not to be that way. And that's it. That's as far as we can go. If they decide to listen, they listen. If not, then they're going to be selfish pricks too. And that's it.
Do you guys see, as bartenders, do you guys see less people like forming, you know, not even necessarily like relationships with like the opposite sex or the same sex, but like just friendships? Like, you know, a lot of people meet friends in bars and form long-term, strong friendships with them. Do you see like less than that? Like less of that, less crews forming, less.
Well, it's funny that you say that. Is that we actually see a lot of bad people become friends with each other,
Well,
Yeah.
and then bad things happen to those bad people, and they're not friends anymore.
Yeah. And they don't understand why bad things happen to them. Oh, why did this happen to me? Because you're a jerk off and shit comes around.
Yeah, they kind of attract each other. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's
Well,
weird.
there's you know something good about that, I guess. Keeps them away from the good people.
Yeah. If you kind of bunch them all together, they don't
So
really go anywhere else.
you're a Gen Zer, right?
Sure, I think. I don't know.
I think so. You're my son's age, so my son's 23.
My bad. I
No,
will
so
be
what I'm
25,
saying is
just
though,
saying.
like, how do you
you're
feel
lucky.
about the way people are these days? Like, you've heard a bunch of our stories. Can you imagine that happening with you and your buddies, or is it just a different dynamic now?
I mean, I could maybe, like I could maybe see like me and my buddies doing that, but I've known my buddies for like some years now. But I don't see it happening like around here.
Like,
I
do
don't know,
you
I kinda-
have the same camaraderie that we had growing up? Like,
They don't.
Probably not.
They
like,
don't.
oh, something's wrong with Paul, so we all jump in the car and we go to his house and help him out, and like,
Not to interrupt the story here, but we failed to mention that Late Night Sauce's podcast tonight is sponsored by, unofficially, by Kettle One Vodka. If you're listening out there, we're still waiting for the official sponsorship from you. So cheers to Kettle One.
It'd be so great.
So great if you just send us
So
a check,
great. Just one.
one or two. But
Preferably
go
more.
on,
than
Whalebone.
two, But I mean, hey, we can work it out afterwards.
well, I was asking your co-host if after hearing what we've all been through and the things we've done together, if the dynamic between him and his friends are different is different.
Well, the problem is that they don't have the experience we have. They don't have to go through what we have to go through.
Right.
So they're not going to get that camaraderie.
That's what I'm asking. That's essentially what I'm asking him. Do you find that?
But he's got people that'll be there for him.
I can answer too. You know.
You can answer.
It's none of your business, Noah.
I don't.
Stay out of it, Noah.
Like,
I thought it was my business.
we barely had pagers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There were no cell phones, so I couldn't. If I needed to get in touch with him, I either called his phone or paged him, and then I had to sit and wait. Or write a letter, yeah. Or
Knock on the basement window.
3/4 of a mile.
Or just stop by his house.
Oh, it doesn't happen often, but like if I haven't heard from like some people like in too long, I'll just show up at their house. Like I know the parents will be like, "Hey, are they in?" No, I'll just hang out until they show up.
People don't understand whether it's, here at the Safe House and Trap or other bars around here is that because of this problem, it's hurting the bar and restaurant industry. It's hurting our money.
Yeah.
People just aren't that friendly anymore, man.
And they need to be. And the thing is, we try to welcome everyone in here. We try to make the lonely guys feel special, the lonely women feel special, they feel part of us. But, like, at the end of the day, they come back to us. We get it. We're not getting enough of it.
It's because they're friendly to us, but they're not friendly to other people.
Maybe.
Right. Well, because you're providing them a service.
We're serving them. They're like, I feel like in the background of their mind, they might think that.
I know, but
where I live,
I'm also telling you is it's not just the problem as the customers, but other bars and other bartenders.
Yeah.
Where
the
I
same
live
thing.
now,
Yeah.
you drive through my neighborhood and
Atlanta,
everybody who's walking or outside waves to you.
That's the South.
That's
doesn't
that
happen
Southern
anymore.
hospitality, but
Yeah, but they're also pricks too. I mean, don't let that Southern hospitality.
It's everywhere though. It's
The
everywhere.
hospitality in Georgia is like nice to your face, go in your house and talk shit about you.
That's a hospitality
In their
everywhere.
house, in their house.
in their house,
That's
I was about to say,
everywhere.
Your house,
It's everywhere.
God damn.
But I mean, like,
Respectful.
yeah, they're nice to your face. Nobody curses. When I moved down
Really?
there, every other word is fucking for me.
Oh, yeah,
So they look at me like I'm the devil down there. Nobody curses. Nobody beeps
Devil went
their,
down to Georgia.
Nobody beeps their horn.
No.
Nope, because everybody's packing. So you beep your horn, somebody's gonna pull over and shoot you in the face.
That seems like good business.
I mean, yeah, but like they pull over and you just
There we go. Now we're talking about gun control. Here we go. We get on political here. See, it's late night
They
sauce.
just did away with needing a license to carry a gun in Georgia. You can just carry one now.
you know.
Yeah.
Nothing bad can come of that.
Nope, not at all. Not even a little
Even the
bit.
little old lady at the freaking supermarket is packing the small 22 in her purse.
Spectacular.
It's scary.
Don't have to answer. Are you packing Whalebone? What's
You
going on?
currently
Not up
What's
here.
going on? I mean,
I did it, even though they did away with licenses, I went and got mine.
As you should.
And I do have a couple of pistols. I don't take them out of my house.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But, and my Georgia license is only good in 27 other states. And
Rhode Island's not one of them.
New York, Connecticut, and Rhode Island are not
No, yeah.
them. So I can only drive to like New Jersey before it's illegal for me
gotta
to
toss
have
it in the
Then-
river.
Then you leave them in a box on the side of the road. And
But
then
I don't
pick them
travel
up on the
with
way
a
back.
Playground.
I don't need a gun.
You don't need a gun.
You bury it under the mulch.
Nobody messes with me because of the way I look, even though I'm like
And you
not
say
really.
like fuck a lot, I guess. I don't know.
I what?
If you said fuck a lot in Georgia,
I do,
They
I
wouldn't
do.
mess with you.
But no,
Think
I'm
you're,
covered in tattoos. I'm a big guy. I got a beard, and people don't tend to like fuck with me. So I don't need a gun. I have it in my house for safety, and I got
It's
it
just in case.
locked up properly
Oh, yeah.
with the clip somewhere else, with the bullets somewhere else, and that way nobody can get into it.
Keeps
I'm
the
the
bullets in one kid's room. Keeps the
Yeah, under I keep the bullets under my 13-year-old son's pillow, and the gun with one in the chamber
is inside of
in
a
my
teddy bear.
daughter's in my
I don't
daughter's.
think that's a good idea.
One.
I think we
Just
want-
kidding, just kidding.
Think about it.
No, it doesn't sound like you're kidding though. It sounds like you're serious.
But I was always anti-gun here. Then I moved to Georgia and something changed. I think it's because I went to a range, I rented a gun, I learned how to shoot, and I was like, this is really cool.
It is.
Here at the range.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
It makes you
course.
feel like your penis is made of concrete, right?
No,
Almond oil does that.
yes, almond oil does that.
That's what it does.
Anyway, I feel like we're kind of shifting away from the.
I don't even know what the fucking original question was.
So-
I don't either.
You were actually talking about how your job has changed.
Yes.
And it must be hard because this is an 80% personality job.
No, this job is 95% personality.
Oh, yeah.
5%
Anybody can
knowledge.
learn how to
95% personality,
Service is
5%
fuck
knowledge.
all. Like,
Right.
I mean, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
anybody can learn how to
Noah,
mix a
I
drink.
want you to answer this question. I didn't teach you how to make drinks. What did I do?
Tell me how to bartend.
Exactly. Bartending and making drinks are two different things.
Two different things.
Yeah, anybody can learn how to mix a drink.
There's no difference between selling a $7 vodka and soda and $100,000 worth of paper. Okay.
Deep sea
There's
money.
no such thing as a product. There's only sex.
Everything.
I look at a customer. I look at their eyes.
Are you quoting something else? This is not from your own brain.
It's,
I look at the customer's eyes when they walk in the door. They go. I look at them. I say, that person right there, they want to be heard.
he said this to me.
They want to be loved.
This was your.
There is no such thing as a product. There's only sex.
That's what you said.
That is what he said. Word
On
for
your
word.
first day.
Not my first day, but it was
Close.
pretty soon after. Yeah,
I used those exact words, all that exact dialogue, in a job interview once,
as you
And
should.
you got
And
the
you
job,
got
didn't
the
you?
job.
You got the job.
and it was an extraordinarily high-powered national corporate job.
Yeah, this is when you
Look him in the
accidentally
eyes.
were
Yep.
down south.
Yeah.
Wants to be heard.
The whole.
It's Robert, California, The Office.
Yeah, yeah.
I know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it's
yeah.
from. That's
Deep
why
sea
I,
mining equipment.
But you know what? It works in every job description. It works in every job description. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that
There was a point to that.
there's a point to it. The point I'm trying to make is here at the Safe House, okay, we have customers here at the Safe House. We have customers that
No,
straight up
I was like, is something up?
love us. They come in here. We get Christmas gifts, birthday
Oh, yeah.
gifts.
Oh yeah.
We have customers. We got some of the greatest customers around at the Safe House and Trap,
We do,
right?
we do.
We treat everyone like
Not
family.
like that.
We got
Can I
some
ask you a
bad people.
question?
Yeah, ask away.
are a lot of them older?
No,
The ones that go the extra mile for you?
no. We have a mixed crew of people
Okay.
that come in here.
No, I know
Many
that.
races.
But the ones that go above and beyond for
No,
you guys.
mixed.
Mixed.
Yeah, go mixed.
It's mixed.
You know, it's not
Healthy
age. It's
mix.
not about age. It's
like
about
a
it's about
Benetton
it's all
commercial.
internal. It's all
Right.
about
It's about kindness.
You
kindness.
can be
Yeah,
a miserable prick no matter what age you are, I guess.
exactly. So the
You could
thing
be
is,
an asshole to me as long as you pay me.
Right.
that is our philosophy. Our
No,
emotions,
no, I
our
can't.
emotions
You do
can be
whatever.
bought
I
financially.
think
Yes,
that's a turn.
Pay me.
yes.
Yeah.
We will. You can be an
Yeah,
asshole
I
if you don't
can't
give me the
agree
money.
with you on
That
that.
didn't seem
okay.
like.
I want a level of respect from somebody that's paying me
Mike,
because
I
I'm
do.
busting my ass for you.
I do.
You
But
know?
you want to know what my philosophy is right now? Because I've been around the block a few times in this business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some people like to tell me that I'm very good. I don't want to be very good. I want to be the richest. I don't want to be the best bartender. I want to be the richest bartender. Because you know what happens? Being good doesn't pay your bills.
It doesn't.
Money does. Fame
See,
is
that's-
overrated as a
but-
bartender.
but
it's
those
all
go
BS.
hand
It
in hand.
is. Does it?
Because
though?
Fame
the
is
better
overrated.
you are at it, the more money you're gonna make.
Not
That's
necessarily
not
true.
true.
No,
I think
no.
so.
You've
That's
been
not
watching
true.
Cocktail, haven't you, with Tom Cruise?
No, I'm not talking about technically proficient. I mean, like you said, you don't serve drinks. You're a bartender. The personality you have is a huge part of why they tip you the way they do, and you gotta admit
You
that.
don't always get the tip. You just get the people.
You don't always get the tip. You get the people sometimes. Yes, he's right.
But they're all interchangeable
I mean,
because the more people you
I'm
get,
not-
the more potential you get for
I'm
tips.
not complaining about the love I get from people. Trust me. I love every minute. I don't need people to tell me how good I am. I know I'm good. They make me feel like I'm good. They don't
Of
have
course.
to keep, it's like when you're dating a girl, like, oh, I love you, I love you. You don't have to tell. I know you love me, whatever, right? Same thing with my customers. And I'm grateful for
I can tell by the way, yeah.
yeah. I'm grateful for all the love I get from my customers. Swinging. But, you know, at the same time, you know, it's at the end of the day, you know, that kind of stuff, it creates resentment from my peers. And people are, I get people use me at other bars, and oh, you're not as good as Mario at the Safe House. You're not as good as fucking Noah at the Safe House. You're not as good. Like, That's great and all, but like now you're creating enemies.
Can I tell you a story I never told you about
Sure.
your wedding day?
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
I was with your wife. No.
With your wife.
All right.
Just once.
This is when you
know
were
how
in
you
your,
think
your
that's just
heyday at the grill. I was outside
Okay.
smoking a cigarette with another head bartender at a different bar.
Yep, I know who you're talking about.
And
Yes.
this woman said to me, I was talking about how great you are and how personable, and she said, my busiest days at my bar are the days Mario's off work and comes here to drink, because everybody follows him there. Don't tell me that doesn't
Guess that bar,
translate.
Noah. Guess that bar.
Guess that bar.
Guess that bar, because I know exactly who he's talking about.
Is it the girl on there?
No, I work there.
Well, you were off and
No,
you
no,
came
no,
to
no, no.
drink.
No.
I thought
No,
that was
no,
like
no.
the-
This woman said, at my bar where I work, my busiest days of the week are when Mario's off at the grill and comes here to have a drink.
And you worked at. Can you give me like a town or a city?
It's in East Greenwich.
East Greenwich.
East Greenwich.
Yeah.
East Greenwich.
Is it Harborside?
What is the?
It
I
was Kim from
all right,
Harborside.
All right.
And you can't tell me.
I would have gotten there.
You can't tell me that, like, recognition and love like that from your customers doesn't translate to more money than somebody who doesn't have that kind of following.
I mean, it does. It does.
Well-
It's more money. It's more money.
that was 10 years ago.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It happens. Do you know the amount of people that like when I'm working on like a Thursday and you're not fucking here? Where's Mario tonight? Oh, what? They give him a day off, and I'm like, yeah, he gets one.
You've got to. Oh my God. You've got. You're lucky this isn't a video. People.
But yeah, no. I mean, I understand like the drive of like what like bring what Mario brings to the table and bringing people.
But
here.
what I mean is like,
I know.
like you're like I don't want to be the best bartender. I want to be the richest. But to be the richest, you kind of got to be the best, or else you're not going to make that money. You know.
That's valid. That's valid. That makes a lot of sense. I'll give you that.
It's
one.
100% valid. But you want to know something?
I don't.
I know shittier bartenders making more money than I am.
That is accurate.
Well, that's
And I know
because
that.
they're
It's scary.
underpaid and you do everything on the up and up.
It's scary. But I'm going to say this because we have to end the show. First of all,
Do we?
we do have to end
I
it.
feel
Yes.
I feel like we need to ask like.
We can do a part
like
one and
like
part two.
Is there a
we
lightning
could.
round?
We could. It is one. All right.
Oh, you have to be out of here by some time?
We're going to have to end the show, but I'm going to say this to make it my ending thoughts.
Oh boy.
I'm going to keep it real because I like to keep it
What are
real
you
with
thinking
everyone. So Davis and myself have been together since 1980. I can't do the math. That's a long time.
92 or 93 for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't do the math, but
Wasn't
1980.
To be
Sure.
43 years.
43 years we've been together, right?
Sounds about right.
Wow.
And I'm talking, like, we're not just saying no to each other. We're talking, like, side by side.
Right.
And we didn't have the coddling of our family support
No.
that people have nowadays.
No.
We had the complete opposite. We were told we're never going to be anything.
No, see, I
Which is
had
fine.
the opposite.
We're not complaining. I'm not complaining. Are you complaining? Because, you know,
No.
I feel like that kind of made us better.
Yeah, in the end, you know,
It definitely made you guys more self-sufficient.
I'll tell you this right now, okay? And if people want to judge me for what I'm saying, let them judge me. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. I'll tell you this right now. The way we came up together, he's one of the best hip-hop artists in Rhode Island. Allegedly, I'm one of the best bartenders in Rhode Island.
You are.
And I take pride in that, and so does he. And that's what makes us what we are.
We're blessed and we know it and we're appreciative. That puts,
Yes, he
puts
said
us
it
apart.
perfectly.
That's what
Said it
sets us
perfectly.
apart from other artists who
And this is what I'm
just
trying
think
to
they
do as a
are owed
bartender,
things,
trying
you
to
know?
help. And this is what I'm trying to do as a bartender, trying to help the people out there that are coming in drinking. And you know, I like to think that I helped out some coworkers along the way, and I think I have.
You know, just because you can't paint or sing doesn't mean you're not an artist. you're an artist of you entertain people just like me, Paul, and I do, but you do it behind the bar. You're an entertainer. You're just a
You
different
do
kind.
exactly.
You know,
So
and I believe that.
You are
I
your own
truly
brush,
believe
and you
that.
I
paint
am.
with the colors of life.
Dude, why do you have to be a dick all the time?
I thought that was beautiful. Number one, why you always my flavor?
Busted
Damn,
balls.
where's my flavor? Anyway, so we have to cut this podcast short right now because it's getting late. But I'd like to thank Whalebone Jackson and Storm Davis for joining us. Noah, I hope you were able to absorb the culture that we came up in.
Oh, I've gotten.
I'm not saying I wanted you to ever feel the struggle we felt. I just wanted you to realize that.
Just want me to understand it.
Understand the struggle and realize that, hey, sometimes the struggle makes you better.
You know, my son is your age, and I tell stories about the stuff that we've done.
Yeah.
He doesn't even believe it. Like,
I've heard
he
some shit
can't
from Mario,
comprehend that we
There-
could
there
actually
probably
do
was.
these
There-
things. And you know, it was
I
our
hear
pleasure. It
weird
was definitely my
stories.
pleasure. I'm not going to speak for Storm, but I had a blast.
And if you're listening
Thank
out there in Atlanta, just want to let you know that, maybe someday we will open up a calzone place in Atlanta. I'm not going to make any promises. I'm not making promises.
I feel like you made a promise.
I just said it.
He did say
it
maybe.
was kind of vague.
He did say maybe. Definitely, he's probably going to do it.
We didn't mention Whalebone Jackson used to own a calzone restaurant or anything.
Whalebone Jackson.
No, I didn't. My father and my aunt.
a calzone in his DNA. He has calzone in his DNA.
In my blood. My blood runs with Italian
Best
sausage.
calzones, 1996 in Rhode Island. Look it up.
Thank you, Mario.
Where?
Thanks for the plug.
Yes.
20
Anyway,
years
so
later.
we're here. We are checking out the Safe House Kettle One Vodka. Please reach out to Noah at the Safe House. Or
Me?
Yeah, well, you are the assistant to the beverage director here.
I was so
I am
excited to
not.
be on this freaking podcast. You got to let me know when it comes out.
Well, it's coming out in about 10 minutes, hopefully.
You're
I
gonna,
mean,
you're gonna put
Cheers,
it online.
everyone. We're going to say goodnight to everybody. Cheers from the Safe House. And listen to Late Night Sauce and follow Tap That Glass tonight. You have just listened to a podcast of legends speaking the truth and how the world should be. Cheers.
Actually, that's a great name for a podcast you and I could do.
What?
Podcast of Legends.
Oh, that'd be good.
Well done, fellas. Short but pointless.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.